Simran, please continue. I have already said start.
All right. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, and greetings of the day from a very cold Finland, which is 9 degrees, and also a very cold Bangalore, which is at 22 degrees. But we send you warm greetings and welcome you for this special webinar for STEM approach in Finnish education. What is STEM? It is a component that gets students to explore, design, test, repeat in science, technology, engineering, arts, or math. Think of our greatest visionaries. Our world would be a lot darker than it is right now if not for Thomas Edison. He was once asked by a reporter, could you continue your work on electric light bulb after having failed 1,000 times? His reply was rather pointy. Sir, I did not fail once. I just found 1,000 ways that did not work. It actually reframes your thinking about failure, isn't it? Edison did not believe in failure. He believed in perseverance. In today's world, if he was in a school, would he be given an F for late assignment or A for his perseverance? It's not that I'm so smart. It is just that I stay with problems longer, said Albert Einstein. STEM culture needs to be a part of every child's learning experience at home, at school, and within the community. To talk about this and more, we are here today and we welcome each one of you joining us from different countries. Thank you very much for being with us. My name is Simran Balani. I'm the Pedagogical Director with CCE Finland. And we are talking here today about STEM approaches in Finnish school. And it is my honor to welcome Dr. Kristof, who is a researcher of STEM education and multidisciplinary learning from University of Jyvaskyla, Finland. A very warm welcome, Dr. Kristof. The floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you so much to Simran Balani for this very warm introduction, and greetings to Danica, Shirin, and all who came today to meet. And I know that in many parts of the world there are quite a lot of challenges nowadays. So big part of the challenges is to be known is this, what I'm holding in my hand. This is the model of a COVID-19 virus, and actually this model was created by Finnish children last week in a school visit. Fortunately, these school visits are possible here again. But I know that there are many parts of the world where there are many challenges now, and there are not so many physical meetings nowadays. But that's why it's also very good that we can at least meet online, and also we might have a little time to do some online development together, because actually these courses also what are offered by CCE are not just one-way development. So I have the feeling always that it's not only the teachers who are participating are developing, but also the teachers who teach these courses are learning new things. So I'm really happy to meet you now, and I hope to learn from you also as part of these courses. I'm really looking forward to meet you personally, and also to exchange thoughts about also those kind of approaches which require the engagement, the motivation, and also to use different kind of tools, different kind of approaches in education, which is really connected to the STEM idea, what Simran very kindly quoted here, and also the STEAM approach, which extends the science, technology, engineering, and mathematics perspective also with the arts and creativity. By the way, actually yesterday we had a book show together with our colleagues in Cambridge. We have a creativity research hub in the Cambridge University, and we just published a new book, and it is very fresh. And I have a little video which we created for this book show, and this also introduces a little bit a very creative classroom to you. So let me present you this video as an opening, and then I will continue with a little presentation. So I try to share my screen. It will be like a 6 minutes video, and I hope that you're gonna enjoy this.
Hello, my name is Kristof Fenvesi. I work in the Finnish Institute for Educational Research. I'm very glad to celebrate this book, Sculpting New Creativities in Primary Education, edited by Pamela Bernard and Michelle Locre. I was very happy to contribute to one of the chapters in this book, which is introducing the educational practice of a great friend of mine, Jukka Sinnemäki. Now I would like to invite you to take a walk in the classroom of Jukka Sinnemäki and also to meet with the co-authors of this.
That I can work with Jukka Sinnemäki and then also with my colleagues Kristof, Chris and Pam on this amazing book and then this chapter. And this is really great to see amazing examples of teaching experiences. And I know Jukka for several years and observing his contributions to education. And also Jukka is working with me on different research projects, and that also gives him a feedback of his experiences as a teacher and a researcher. And it is very important that we are working as a community, as together with teachers, researchers, teacher trainers, to see good examples and explore the possibilities of creating new, innovative and creative environments in education. So when you are reading this book, read this chapter from different perspectives as teachers, teacher trainers and researchers, and see that how all of these contributions add to the experience, and then also create new possibilities for the development of education in all countries, not only in Finland. So thank you.
I'm Dr. Chris Brownell from Fresno Pacific University, one of the co-authors of the chapter you're looking at, chapter 8 in the book. I wanted to say that I was very privileged to be a part of this team, and I wanted to just point out that there's two things I'm really impressed by, being able to work with Jukka and learn about his know now key principle. That idea is one that resonated with me extremely deeply and very at a visceral and important level of my being and my work as a researcher, because of its focus on well-being as being a part of the core curriculum. Too often we see education and the core curriculum in education as being these disembodied set of skills that are things we are trying to add on to children. But instead, this turns the focus on growing children into humans. And that is and was a great joy to me to have a part of disseminating these ideas to the world. I hope you enjoy reading about Jukka's ideas. I I love learning about it.
Hello everyone, my name is Jukka Sinnemäki and I'm one of the contributors of this book. I have been interested for a long time how can positive transformation happen in the school environment. What are the ingredients to make it happen? How to involve the children? What role the holistic well-being plays? What about the environment itself and how it can be transformed many times throughout the school year with the students, listening to them. It has been a great journey. I hope you will enjoy this book. Thank you very much.
So this book just appeared yesterday, and you might want to check out also as a background information, but I definitely wanted to introduce you this because you could see a classroom, actually a very special classroom. Every classroom is special, as we know, but Jukka's classroom, just some corners away from this place where I'm talking, it's one place definitely where I felt that I want to be a student again. And actually that also kept me in Finland, to say you very honestly, that I wanted to relearn all these practices and study them. And I'm studying them like 15 years from now. And it's like that's my main job actually in the Finnish Institute for Educational Research, that I want to understand these pedagogical practices and not only understand them, but also contribute to these processes, not only as a researcher, but also as a STEAM teacher. So STEAM means...
Dr. Kristof,
yeah.
I was just so excited to see this video, and trust me, I felt that I wanted to be a part of that classroom environment. And we are lucky now that we have this technology where people from around the world can join your course and see this, witness this, and create in their own countries and their own classrooms. I will just take a minute here, Dr. Kristof, to invite our audience to post their questions. We will be taking the questions at the end of the presentation. And while we are here, I want to tell you everyone that we have about 400 educators, researchers live from 25 countries on our 8 FB channels, YouTube channels, and CCE website. So there is an encouraging amount of researchers and budding educators who want to know about STEM and want to know more about what you're going to share. So I'm looking forward to it. Thank you.
That's extremely honoring, and it's great that there is a huge community now. I hope that all these people will become connected to CCE, and we can form a creative community, at least towards these courses, and also that probably you will visit also Finland as soon as the pandemic is over, and also to join symposiums and programs that we are organizing with CCE. So please be alert and keep your channels open because these live meetings are also returning. But until that, we have fortunately the online courses and the online meeting opportunities. And as you can see in these images, so all of this, what you have seen with these many tools, many methods, many approaches, many kinds of learning, many kind of creativities, many kind of intelligences to be nurtured in these spaces, we also have many different toolkits to bring color to the children's learning, and bring creativity and bring creative problem solving and cooperation to actually all ages of students in all age groups, from the early childhood education to the high schools and all around all along the basic education. So you can see some photographs of school events and also some informal learning events. So these contents are on the one hand integrated in classroom activities, so like everyday learning, but these are also parts of special events where we really try to invite like whole families to share the experience of learning, because we believe that this continuum of learning should have to be clear, and also the communication between different actors in the learning should be established, and parents and researchers and teachers and children, first of all children, need to be involved to make decisions about their own learning. And we are also doing research about this, so all what you see in these videos and also what's going to be the course content is all research supported, and all supported by publications as well, and conferences and data collection and many aspects. And I mentioned already my workplace, the University of Jyvaskyla. This is actually in central Finland, and it has been the core of the Finnish teacher education as well, because this was the first institute where women teachers have been trained for the first time in Finland in the 19th century, and we are very fond of this heritage. And more closely, my research group is focusing on the innovative learning environments. And when I say learning environment, is not only the physical environment of learning. Of course, that's the most apparent, that where are we when we are learning? Is it an online platform? Is it a physical space? But of course, learning is always a community-based activity. We never learn alone, right? I mean, even if we are individually learning something, there is a source of learning which is created by others, and learning is a constant communication. So we also very much interested in the psychological, emotional aspects of learning and the well-being aspects of learning. As you have seen in the video, this is a central health and well-being is a central interest of ours. And we want to see that how this ecology of learning is functioning from the research aspect, but we want to see what are those practices in the everyday learning activities which are supporting these creative ecologies of learning. So this is also what you can learn about in this course, and not only learn, as I mentioned already, but also to be active in this course and try to work on your own projects as well, which might be your own transformation process or own transition process towards these creative teaching practices. So we are also networking and building, connecting teachers all around the world. So we have this STEAMnet education network. You are welcome to add me on Facebook or LinkedIn or any social media, and I will involve you in these channels. And also many publications about the online learning environments. So this is some images from the campus. So you can also see these are like summer and spring photos here. So there is not too much snow, which is coming actually in the moment now. And also I mentioned about the history already of the university, and you can see that it's not so hard to be in the proximity of nature in Finland. So outdoors learning is very important for us also in all levels. This is also part of the course content. And you can see also this lake, which is very near to our campus, and also this forest is actually part of our campus. So these green areas, okay, this is a snowy picture. So this is how it's going to look like everything in a month. Here you can imagine this deep snow is coming. This is the main building designed by Alvar Aalto. He was a major architect in Finland, and also modern architect in Europe. You can see also our university in numbers and our faculties, and as you can see, this multidisciplinary approach in learning, that how these different faculties can collaborate, and how this multidisciplinary also affect everyday learning, and all these areas coming from basic natural phenomenon and mathematical thinking to questions related learning, teaching, interaction, language, culture, society, and sustainable aspects, physical activity. So these are all actually also reflected in these courses, and also just like in the Finnish core curriculum. So maybe you are curious about what's happening in Finland, maybe right at the moment. So, of course, Finland is also facing with the similar challenges like the whole world, and also like whole Europe actually facing with this aging in the society, and the job structure, the job market, the labor market is absolutely transforming nowadays, and there are many new technologies as well. But Finland made a very ambitious goal. So our goal is to have the 50% of the whole population have a graduation in higher education. So I know that CCE also running higher education related programs. This is also part of these efforts. And actually, this is a very challenging goal if you think about it. So if you want to see the structure of the education system, this is how very simplified way we can take a look just quickly. And actually the goal is to have the 50% of the society ending up here in this space, and also the mandatory age of learning is 18 years old. So there is also a big effort done to prevent the early school leaving. I know this is also a big problem in actually every countries, the early school leaving. So we have some approaches how to prevent those tendencies, and this is also included in the course. And of course, you are interested, I think, about what's happening in connection with COVID. So Finland was among the luckier countries in connection with COVID, if I might express it on this way. So the affection of COVID was kept on a very limited level, and we really hope that it will stay so, and soon it will also go away. We really hard working on this, and but still here there was this very rapid change with the lockdown. So Finland went online during a weekend, and that was a really challenging experience for the teachers. But it was very good to see that teachers like automatically switched into this community support mode, and as these strong teacher communities could really show many ways of providing professional support to each other, the members of the community, and everybody who had some expertise with ICT or with any kind of help they could offer. It's very quickly, informally also started to be activated these channels. And actually, in terms of technology, there are also quite ambitious goals related to introducing these blockchain technologies, also in education, this so-called micro-credentials and AI-based learning administration systems. There are also some connections in this course, though it's not the main point here, but it's good to see the big picture. And these are also supported, these developments, with the traditions, by the traditions of Finnish education. So you can see here a very traditional hierarchical model. This was also the reality in Finland several decades ago. But when the big reforms, the big changes started in Finnish education, the structure somehow started to look a bit more networked and more horizontal structures started to be introduced. And these structures also can be seen that how many experts, how many different fields expertise are working within and around the school. The school is not actually not in a bubble, not in a vacuum, but it's really part of the society where all these expertise are there to be added up, especially also when critical situation comes. So as you can see, this is also a good model to see that how many challenges need to be resolved. Actually, it's in every classroom all around the world. There are many complex challenges, but here you can have the specialists of each of these challenges, and actually there is a big emphasis to have these communication lines established between the different experts, and everything should be focused around the well-being of the children and the teachers in the middle. So this is quite important, and this is also the basis of the curriculum. So if you want to like summarize some key aspects of the curriculum, so it's very student-centered, very multidisciplinary, and also this phenomenon-based learning is quite much here. So everything needs to be applied, everything needs to be connected to the real world content, and also very collaborative. Not only on the learning level, so it's not only collaborative problem solving and not only collaborative learning, but collaborative teaching. This is also something what needs to be developed as part of this is a goal in the curriculum. And also sustainability, that's another aspect. So if I used quite many technical terms here already, this multidisciplinarity, inter, trans, these are actually different things. And we can also pay attention to these in different programs. But actually the main, most important thing is here that everything should point towards to the motivation and joy of learning and the knowledge and skills needed in life, which is based, actually established on the school culture, where there are underlying values and there are clear conceptions of learning. It's very important that the students are aware of their own learning characteristics, how they can learn most effectively, and they are supported many ways to progress, and different paths are offered to each of the students. So this is very challenging on the one hand, but very efficient on the other hand. And there were several news some years ago that Finland said goodbye for the subjects, and there are no school subjects anymore. So this is not true. Actually, there are quite a few school subjects, as you can see, even this classic school subjects like mathematics, physics, chemistry, everything there. But everything should point towards these competencies, key competencies, and these 21st century skills, what you can see on the top expressed. So also, as I already emphasized, the interaction within the school and the involvement of students in the learning process, and also to support critical thinking, problem solving, differences of opinions, democratic values, and motivation, joy, and many kind of creativities, mainly, and also the involvement of the students' own wishes and own interest. That's very important, and also that how these all can be represented on a sustainable framework. So this is actually a quite complex goal, and it's not easy actually for the Finnish teachers either, who get the training to act professionally with these expectations. So it's definitely not easy. But the autonomy of the teachers are very much supported, and also the community of teachers is very strong to support these so-called creative ecologies, which are very much a reality in Finnish schools. So also you can see that how many different kind of creativities need to be recognized actually in everyday learning. And these key competences which I mentioned, this is makes a much more complex framework than just the subject-based thinking about education. So this should be pointed towards the connections instead of the separation. So we are looking for what can connect us, and how we can combine these creative resources also in any school. And this, what you can see, these sentences and these building bridges: let school be fun, creative teacher for creative students, everyday creativity the day after. So these are all some teachers' project titles which were created as part of some blended courses or some online courses, that we really want that you are really making a change when you enroll these courses. It's not just listening some new things, but we really would like to encourage you and give you some resources to make the change in your own community. So this is the point, that how to boost your creative resources, maybe with Finnish models, but we don't say and don't think that you should establish the very same Finnish models what are efficient here. Maybe you have totally different models. We just want to show you inspiration and provide some examples, and also different resources which you can use on your own to create your own change, what you need in your own community. I already mentioned symposiums. So CCE has been really successful also to bring the greatest change makers and policy makers into the scene. So, for example, Andreas Schleicher contributed the last symposium organized by CCE. It was a great moment, and also his colleague Stefan Vincent Lancrain. And it wasn't a surprise that these great policymakers were talking about creative learning and the importance of creativity in the education of tomorrow. But it needs to be done, this change today, of course. And you have already seen in the video which I presented these interesting classroom spaces in use. You have seen it in motion, and there are some other projects just to highlight this project-based learning, and for example how crafts, mathematics, music, technology can be combined in a project, and also that how the COVID also affecting these contents and what we learn about, and also digital technologies, how these are used to create learning content, even in this challenging moment when teachers needed to create new materials, and also how to run STEAM workshops, STEM workshops. So many contents are included, how to implement computational thinking in everyday learning topics or in different subjects, and also how to support these learning communities and well-being and happy students. This is quite an important goal of our programs, actually also in live programs in every continent where we've been active. This was another project where 3D printer has been used during the pandemic, and computational modeling. The students created geometrical models, and they printed these face shields, and they gave it to the local hospital crew during the pandemic time. This is how STEAM education can really make the change, and this is not just stay within the classroom, but really goes beyond the classroom. So I think I could continue long. These are some photographs of some hybrid learning sessions where we are also very active together with children. And also this is our mathematics and art program. You can see these are all children artworks telling about the joy and the challenges of learning and their world, and also their complex experiences where mathematics and art is also combined in these expressive artworks. These are, for example, from South Africa, and you can see also the important message of these messages of these artworks. So I hope that you all going to join this, and you will also share your own experiences, your own projects with us during the course. So thank you so much for your attention, and if you have any questions, I'm very happy to respond and also to be connected with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Kristof, for taking us through this amazing journey. And I'm sure you have a curious audience who would like to know more about these approaches and how they can implement in their school and in their learning. I was reading a very nice research by Elizabeth Rod, who is the director of Center for Childhood Creativity. And she was saying, even to parents, because there are a lot of parents who join us in these sessions, is that find those everyday moments and talk with your kids and use big words and describe phenomena. So it is like, don't get so hung up on teaching them. It is just about experiencing that what wonder of math and sciences and engineering is around us in daily life, right? And like simple vocabulary, using a stable when they're building a tower. I'm talking about small children who make these block towers, and using fragile as a word, as a vocabulary for STEM when they're touching objects. So some simple tips for parents who are watching us this evening. We do have a few questions coming in from our audience around the world. One of the questions is, why is STEM getting more momentum in the early years in Finnish education? What does it do, or how does it help at early years?
Yes, it could be a complete course given just to answer this question, but very shortly, there are different reasons, but one of the reasons is definitely this, what I mentioned, that education is not anymore to support the elite, these selected individuals who are like controlling the world and getting the power, but education is really to respond to everyday challenges of every one of us. And STEM is meant to respond to these complex challenges. And it was like created in the 60s, the origins of STEM programs, when there were more emphasis on the technological progress, and also to respond global challenges. And that's how they recognize that it's not anymore just the subjects need to be developed, but the connections between subjects and the complexity and the complex view. And STEM, that's why STEM needs to be also transformed into STEAM. And of course, we can use many acronyms. These are just acronyms, and we can call them anyhow, as the key is the integration and the cooperation, the community, and the combination of different fields to be able to answer the complex challenges.
Great. So there is another question, and they are talking. Here is Zohar Slimi, and she says, thanks for this webinar. I would like to ask if the system is also applied in higher education in Finland.
Absolutely. Actually, every field, these synergies and multidisciplinary research and education also in the higher education very much. And also to mention teacher education, that might be a key interest here. Teachers are not anymore trained through just lectures and I don't know, this frontal ways, but there are many workshops and there are many seminars and there are many activities which is based on those kind of approaches which we really want to see in the schools as well. So higher education is absolutely a core field in Finland where all these learning innovations are really become reality.
Awesome. This is so great. So for audience who are having questions about our courses, please note that this course is going to start on 26th of November, and our team has put in the links in all the various channels where you've joined from. To know more about this course, please click on the link. And I'm very glad to announce our very unique program called the CCE Buddy Program. This is for all our audience, parents, teachers, researchers, who want to know more about the programs that we conduct, how do it benefits them basically in their lives and improving the learning of their children. So please do fill up those forms, talk to us about what questions you have about different programs. And as I said, and for STEM also, we still have 10 more days to go. And if you have questions, please register for our buddy program and we can answer that. Now, there are more questions coming in for you, Dr. Kristof. Sanu Khan, hi, great to know more about the Finnish pedagogy. Could you please give an example of phenomenon-based learning adopted in Finnish classrooms?
Yeah, there are many examples I could give, because the whole education is need to be organized on this phenomenon-based way. First of all, it's always very important to start with, whenever someone introduces a new topic, that basically as a teacher you don't expect anymore that there are students who know absolutely nothing on that topic, because there are many information, many channels, and these students are extremely well informed. So maybe it's worth to start always that, what do you know about this? If you mention some keywords, you mention something about the new topic, you get interested, and you also look at some examples in the children's world, what can be connected to that topic, and you will get many answers. And during the discussion, even more, even some really abstract topic, if you find the good examples and a good way to discuss, you will get these points, and maybe you can start to base the learning on these examples. And it can be like any kind of subjects. There should be the real life connection. And also it has been really effective, but this is not a new thing. It's like decades now to have the project-based learning also accompanied with the STEM and STEAM approach. So you can encourage children to divide roles and work like a little expert team, and then they can also work for their own learning, and this can be a really active way of collecting information. And of course, as your time is not infinite, and I know that the curricular pressures are huge, and you are really expected to go through impossibly a lot of topics in many countries. But at least if you have these experiences, like time by time introduced in maybe a very patient way, then you will get these benefits, and you will be able to anchor or link these learning contents to the students' own world, and then you made a success because it's part of their own world, and it's really something what becomes applied in their own life.
So true, Dr. Kristof. And I hope that we have answered Zohair Slimi's and Sanu Khan's questions. The next one is from Ishrat Tabassum. Is there a need of any specific library for activities?
Excuse me, a specific?
Library for these STEM activities. Is there a requirement of any library?
Well, I think for me, books are really important. And really valuable, also as a resource, of course, and also as inspiration, and also if you mean that library as a resource, definitely it's always very good to gather this information, and also to gather your own practice, and also to get access to other teachers' examples. And also this course is meant to share these resources, actually, these libraries, actually not only one library, but libraries in this learning process. So this is absolutely important. I agree.
Thanks, Dr. Kristof, and thank you, Ishrat Tabassum, for this question. Next one is a very interesting one. What about artificial intelligence? How is it applied in higher education in Finland? Is there any university focusing on artificial intelligence appliance in higher education?
Yes, artificial intelligence is really a central goal or target now, to have more understanding, first of all. So before I would talk about how to use it in education, I would rather start this question, that how to make it understandable for everyone. Actually, I think this is a really central topic now, and we can see quite a few good examples to have artificial intelligence ideas and how it works a little bit more transparent, because it's a very complex idea, very specified, and it will transform, and it's already transforming our everyday world really in a very dramatic way. And actually to have access to these ideas, that's a key. It has a key importance. But on the other hand, there is also threats with this, and also threats coming from the big data, and also coming from artificial intelligence as such. And it's really important to find out how to operate with this tool, that it doesn't become harmful, but it becomes helpful, and it's not against creativity, and it's not for okay, I can say on a very rude way, that artificial intelligence is not really to exaggerate the organic stupidity. So maybe that would be a very interesting goal, and I really trust that there are at least some solutions, but I can see the other examples as well. So it's a very on the edge now with this innovation. That's why it's very important for us to know more about this.
I like the creativity part. I so agree. So you have more questions coming in, Dr. Kristof. One is simple. What is definition of STEM in Finland?
Well, it's hard to say only one definition, because as I told, STEM and STEAM is actually not a method, but it's a policy approach. And the point with this is it only means to integrate or connect, first of all, and integrate these fields. But then when you integrate, there are many ways of integration, and this is what I shown, this multidisciplinary, inter, trans, and cross-disciplinary. And also there are some studies which say that this integration is really to open up the learning process for implementing different kind of methods. So you can use many methods, and it becomes like a mixed method approach. That's why there is no a single definition for that, but maybe like a single synonym, I would say integration or connection.
Correct. So true. So the next question we have from our participant who is right here in Zoom, Mr. Ferenc. Would you like to ask your question, sir?
Kristof, azt kérdezném tőled, hogy a kooperatív technika hogyan jelenik meg a STEAM használatában. I would like to ask all of you that how is the cooperative skills is included in the STEAM educational program?
Thank you a lot, Ferenc. Actually, I know Ferenc personally, and I'm really happy to meet him here in this seminar. It was a great surprise that you came, Ferenc, and actually we are sharing the same object, as I can see. Yes, it's actually the cooperation is very much there in the integration. So when you want to integrate, then you need to cooperate. I think that's the most important aspect here. And cooperative learning means like learning together, and also cooperative teaching means teaching together, and this togetherness, I think this is what we need to explore and understand even more. And also, I think this togetherness is something which is a little bit missing still from our online technologies. We can see some good examples for that, but it's not enough. And we need to be more towards this cooperative and this togetherness culture. And this was really obvious, I think, with the COVID-19 crisis, that we are not practicing enough this cooperativeness and togetherness in everyday life and in everyday learning.
I hope that answers your question. Dr. Kristof, you have another interesting question. This is from Indonesia.
Oh.
Hi, my name is Tayas from Indonesia. In our country, STEM education is always related to robotics. Is it the same in Finland? Could you show me how exactly STEM class in Finland? Thanks. I'm not sure whether we can show you the class now, but you're welcome to join our course or fill out the form for buddy program. But other than that, Dr. Kristof can answer your question.
Yeah, wow. It's very good to have also participants from Indonesia. Actually, today, very early morning, I started like 4 hours. I've been teaching in Indonesia, so that was really nice. I met quite many fantastic teachers today morning, and tomorrow it's gonna be very similar. So I have a little bit of insight also in what's happening in STEM and STEAM in Indonesia, and I know that it's easy to try to solve these challenges, or I mean try to respond these challenges with investing into some shiny technology, and then the policymaker just say, okay, we solved another big challenge. But actually, it's not true. And also, we can see a lot of examples with robotics, which are very good and very much needed. But also, it's important to understand that what's behind this structure. And not only just to have the robot in the classroom, but why to have these robots? For what these robots for? And if you are thinking a little bit, looking into the future, it's not anymore a distant future. It's actually now. It's actually our present, when we are facing with a hybrid society where technological technological participants of the society will appear very soon. And also there are many ethical questions related to these dimensions. And how to handle these, I think this must be also part of robotics learning, and also that the subject connections need to be made clear. Though you can see in the first part of this seminar, I was a little bit talking a little bit more the importance of integration, but now I want to talk a little bit the importance of subjects. So I think it's also important to make it clear that this information belongs here, that information belongs there, and also the connections need to be made clear between this. And STEM and STEAM is not just to make a big chaos or a big mixture in children's or teachers' head, but it's more to clarify the connections.
Sure, Dr. Kristof, and I was reading very recently about STEM thinking skills, all right, and how adults can encourage that in students is usually ask why, what, and how questions as much as possible to children, and let them explain their thinking. Let them be with the problem, like we were hearing for the quote by Albert Einstein. One more question for you is, at what age children should start using libraries?
What was the last word, sorry?
At what age children should start using libraries?
Libraries. Okay. That's really nice that there are many questions today about libraries. Yes. Well, I think right when they're born and when they can go to community, take them to the library, and actually, of course, you need those kind of libraries where noise and children behavior is not only tolerated but welcome. And actually, we have these libraries, fortunately, in Finland. The libraries are also in transformation, and we can see that these are new learning environments and new learning spaces. For example, one of the newest library in Helsinki, I hope you can visit us there. It's called Oodi, and actually anyone can book any kind of learning space for free. They can make meetings, they can make learning events there, and there is also a playground within the library. Children are welcome to move around, and they are not supposed just to sit silently. There are the silent places, and there are also the noisy places. There are many cafeterias in this. So I think this refunctionalization of the spaces of learning and more responding to people's need is very important. And also that to make the children available those kind of books, those kind of resources which are appropriate to their age, to their language. And for example, in a Finnish city, in a library, you can find children books in every of the minorities which are living in the city. So this is very important to have the children access to books and different kind of resources on their own language and in an age-appropriate environment and age-appropriate format. We don't hear you now, Simran.
Yes.
Sorry. Yeah.
So, Dr. Kristof, you will be amazed to know that we have a similar kind of a model learning space inspired by Finland, which has been done in one of our schools under our school development program in Bangalore. And the principal, yes, and 28th October, she did a webinar, especially on explaining that how she has bought that little part of Finland in her school in Bangalore. So she did her PL 101, and as a part of implementation, she has created this exact modern learning space in her school, and which is the first ever in Bangalore through our school development program of CCE Finland. Oh. So you know, when you were telling me all of these things, because I have visited that center, I can envision that.
I see. Okay. I should visit. I should
You
visit
are
this
most
library in
welcome.
Bangalore. Yes.
Yes, and we will be also posting the link of that webinar for the audience to see. And with this, we are right on time. I thank everyone who has joined us today. And we have had so many questions and so many answers and insights from Dr. Kristof. And we welcome all our parents, students, budding teachers to join these STEM courses. And the first one is starting on 26th November. Our team will be putting the links once again. And I thank you, Dr. Kristof. And if you want to have any closing notes for our audience, you're more than welcome to share that.
Thank you very much, dear Simran. I really enjoyed to share this hour with you and also with the participants of this webinar. I'm really thankful for these exciting questions, and I can't wait to hear more questions from you and also to have more discussions with you, also maybe in a live format and also as part of these courses. So thanks a lot for joining, and see you soon.
Thank you so much, Dr. Kristof, and thanks to each and every one of the participants and people here joining us from all the different countries. We are very, very grateful. We hope to see you very soon. And this is Simran Balani on behalf of CCE Finland, Tampere and Bangalore signing off. Have a very good evening, good afternoon or good morning, and good day. Greetings. And thank you very much once again.